right here on Nuga Radio.
If you want to discover the real hope for your life through inspirational music, relevant messages, and testimonies from others who have already found hope, then we encourage you to visit the second annual My Hope Conference, October 7th through 9th at Hickson First Baptist Church. Free admission and childcare is provided for kids up to pre-K, while those in kindergarten through 5th grade will attend the Kids Hope Rally. For more info, visit myhopeconference.com or call Hickson First Baptist Church at 423-877-2467.
Good morning, good people here in the city of Chattanooga. It's Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. Y'all know what it is. I'm taking it from the streets to City Hall, from City Hall to the mayor's office. Can't leave out the police department. From the valley low to the mountaintop, giving you guys a bird's eye view to what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. Wake up. Good morning. Oh, man, I hope you guys are awake. I hope you guys are having a good day. You started your day off well. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I am. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. That's life. Somebody did not wake up this morning. So if you woke up this morning, you know what? Even if you rolled out of bed with, you didn't feel good, you know, maybe if your day's not going how you planned, just take a minute and be grateful that you're alive. You're breathing, your breath flowing through your body. Maybe you got health and strength. You got the properties of your mind. That's good, because that means you survived so far. And that means that you can overcome whatever happened yesterday. It's already behind you. Push forward. That's all I got to say. Good morning. It's a beautiful day here in the city of Chattanooga. Oh, man, I've been going in so hard lately. I have been going in hard. I don't have no choice but to go in hard because so much going on in my city. I love my city. I love the scenic city. This is where I'm from. I'm born and raised here in the city of Chattanooga. I love not only the city, but I love the people here. I love being a Southerner. I love being from the South. I love my city. I love my city. I can go anywhere in the world. I've gone places all over the country. I've gone outside the country, and still there is no place like home. But home has problems, and that's okay. That's okay. I hit the problems, and I hope, you know, some people get on the radio or get on social media and they just complain. I try to put the tools in your hands because you're not powerless. Now, as Peter in Spider-Man, the man that raised him, I think it was his uncle, said, with great power comes great responsibility. Oh man, once I let you know what the power is that you have, you got a responsibility from that point forward to use that power, because you're not helpless. You're socialized to be helpless, right? You're socialized to be powerless, but you're not. You got power. You have constitutional power, right? And then there's a power that exceeds all powers. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to take a detour from city council, police brutality. Where is Mayor Burke? We're going to take a detour today. And I'm going to talk about love unconditional. Love unconditional. Why do we struggle with a lot of problems in society? Because we have no love. Or the type of love that we have is not the love that is required to change what is going on in our community. And then we have bought into means of control. Because if you're not operating in love, you're operating and trying to control somebody else, their life, their population, their community. Oh, man, y'all don't want me to go hard. It's cool. 800-8949 is the call-in number if you want to chop it up with me today. I'm streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. If you can't call in, drop a comment, interact with me. Let me know that you're watching. Do not forget to share this on social media because I love you. All right? We're talking about it. Love unconditional. Did you know that there are 4 types of love? Oh, man, you may not have covered it. If you are a reader, which I hope you are, because leaders are readers, and we need leaders in this day and time. We're at a pivotal point in history. We don't need people just sitting back talking. We need leaders. People are going to get their hands dirty and assist people and shift people and operating and implementing change right where they are. Because if you're waiting on somebody else to do the work, it's not going to happen. You'll be waiting. All right. There's 4 types of love. There's storge, philia, eros, but the most important is agape love. What are these types of love? Storge is an empathetic type of love. So an empathy bond. Philia will be a friendly type love or a brotherly love. That's how you get Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. So philia is like a friend or brother or sisterly type love. You have eros, which is an erotic love. Too many of us are operating in that. Oh, we got a lot of erotic love. But where is the agape love in our society? A God-like love, an unconditional love that does not have any strings, that is not about control, that is all about accepting people as who they are, where they are, and loving them anyway. Oh, man. We're going to have a tough conversation. Tough conversation. You know, there's a song that my mom would sing sometimes, and it says, what the world needs now. And there's an answer for every problem, like in music. I know Mike still has talked about it. Music is kind of trash a lot now, but like old school music, there's like an answer to every problem. If you go back and listen, there's a struggle in music, a struggle to find an answer. But what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And I don't think the songwriter was talking about we just need empathetic love, where we can empathize about what people are going through, but we won't get off of our behinds and try to help them change. Or we won't not hold things against them because they're not perfect. Oh, man. Or philia love, where you're my friend until you trip up or make a mistake. Or eros, where I only love you if you sleep with me. But the agape, which is I love you when you're crazy. when you did take your medicine today. I know some of us need to be medicated. Lord Jesus. I love you when you're crazy, when you flip out, right? When you do something stupid, when you make a mistake. As my mother would say, I give you a grace card. I forgive you. If I do something stupid, you forgive me. And we remain in relationship. And we kind of talked about this last night. Last night, if y'all weren't at Barking Legs Theater, you missed out on something. I had to take a break from City Council because I'm not really making any traction. And I don't see other people who get up making a lot of traction at City Council. And so I still go to City Council, even though they're unconstitutional and only allow me to speak and everyone else to speak twice a month, which is an infringement on my First Amendment rights, which is no restriction on the freedom of speech. I don't know how the city attorney could have a ruling and how the council could have ruling like that, except that they don't know the Constitution, even though they swear that they know it and they've taken an oath to know it, which would make them liars. I said I wasn't going to talk about City Council today. I took a break and we had the South is Rising. So we had the South is Rising. We were talking about voter registration. And one of the things that we talked about was this disconnect between what my generation would consider the elders and the young people as the group that I'm in, millennials, maybe between baby boomers and millennials, maybe even between Generation X and baby boomers. We're conflicted. The millennials are kind of conflicted because we as millennials, we didn't wake up and get into a world or a situation that we created. The problems that we have been persisting in America specifically, even when we dial in the microscope and then hone into home. The problems that we've been having in the city of Chattanooga have been bubbling over time, like a slow boil, a simmer. And now it's just now that we've gone from a simmer to a rolling boil. Part of the problem is that there has been a love that has been missing here. And in particular, a love for people who are impoverished people who are of color, people who are immigrants, people who are LGBTQ plus. There has been no agape love for anybody, and this is gonna hurt. I gotta tell the truth. There has been no agape love for anybody who's existed out of a space of whiteness. Very, very few. Little love for anybody who's different. And what a shame. Because that's what makes, if we, and I hate taking the turn, but if we talk about what makes America great in any shape, form, or fashion, it should be the love that brought us together in 1676 at Bacon's Rebellion, where we did not care who was white, who was black, who was man, who was woman. We recognized that we were all poor. We were all locked out of wealth. We were all suffering tyranny. We were all kept at a distance. We were all disenfranchised. And we decided that enough was enough. And the only way that we were going to fight and win was first with love. Y'all don't want. So it's hard for me. Somebody said preach. Y'all need to cut it out. I get it honest. I grew up Pentecostal. The word is in me. People, David Tula says all the time, Marie, it's like we're doing prophetic work. And I believe that. We're doing work because we are at a turning point in this country. We're at a turning point in Chattanooga. The data that keeps coming out shows that if we continue on the path that we're going on, we are going to have trouble indefinitely in the city of Chattanooga. And that data is coming out supporting that nationwide. But what is the problem? So, yes, at surface level, we have a problem with police. But what is the problem with police? We have people who do not love that people have constitutional freedom and constitutional rights that should never be infringed upon. They don't love the facts that we are free. They don't love the fact, like Justin Whaley, who killed James Brumlow from drinking and driving, and his wife, who's now without a husband, and the mother of 4 children that she will forever raise by herself because he's no longer with us. Ms. Brumlow, I'm with you. I'm with you. Please don't think I have forgotten about you and your beautiful children. I have not. Love wouldn't have this man whose responsibility during the day was being an EMT post on Twitter that he had a problem servicing people in the ghetto. That's what he called it. Oh man, fighting the tides of death and serving the denizens of the ghetto. I wish I could go home. Love would have you lacking in understanding that even the poor deserve to be served. Oh man. Are you hearing me, dear listener? My neighbor, my friend. Love would have you practice jury nullification. We've covered that on the show. Y'all don't want me to go ham today. We've covered that on the show. Jury nullification, the power to take and remove the power out of the district attorney's hands and put it back in the people's hands, which it should have never left. It should never leave. And to have mercy. See, that's what unconditional love is. It is mercy. It's mercy. Having mercy on one another. Understanding that we are not perfect. And in reality, those, even our elected officials, should receive some mercy. Now, mercy should never turn into stupidity, where you allow yourself to be hurt again and again. But you still got to love folks. You don't have to like them, but you still got to love them. Oh, I said something right there. You don't have to like folks. I don't like what my city council is doing, but I still love them. I don't pray for their demise. I pray that their eyes be opened, that they do their job, because that's what they were elected to do. And then I pray that the people won't allow themselves to continue to be run over just because you love them. And then when the time comes, we get rid of them if they won't do their job. You see, love does not make you be stupid. Unconditional love is not stupidity. It doesn't mean you get run over. But what it means is that when you can, and we should, that should be the first thing, is that we extend mercy. I think we extended mercy on the first instance when we had Avery Gray, and then we continue to have problems. The expectation of love is that you will do what is right by the people. Unconditional love. Oh, yeah, it's tough. I don't know. My phone's probably going to be dry today. It's okay. It's okay. Unconditional love, not control. I don't like when I see people get on the corner with Confederate flags and spit on people and have hate speech and all sorts of kind of stuff, but they are protected by First Amendment rights. I still have to love them. Lord have mercy. Love is the thing that changes people or allows them an avenue to change. And I'm telling you, there's a reason why when I interact with people I know and do not, when I end my show every day, I tell you that if no one has taken the time to tell you today that they love you, I love you, and it's nothing that you can do about it. It's because I know that there's so many people, from children to adults, who do not have anybody that tell them that they love them. And if they do, it's with conditions. Oh, man, I'm surprised somebody calling in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Talk to me.
You know, I wanted to comment yesterday, but I didn't get a chance because I was working so hard. But it's so funny that you saying this today, because what I wanted to say yesterday was like, sometimes people just don't want to be saved. Like, you got people, like, it's a quote that here and coming, that say, like, sometimes you don't want to be free. And sometimes you're scared to be free. You want to stay a slave. And it's so funny you saying this today about you really just have to just love ones that want to be free and love ones that's scared to be free. And that's all I want to say, girl. You keep on fighting. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all don't know what that means to me. Will y'all encourage me? Because that's all I want to do here on this radio show. Yes, do I hit hard issues? Absolutely. Because I don't do fluff pieces. We got to do work. We got to do work. Nothing changes without doing work. And part of the problem is we live in a society that has coddled one another. We don't want to go through a struggle. And that's part of unconditional love. Oh, thank you, brother. You don't even know what you just did for me. Part of unconditional love is a struggle. Yes, is it a struggle? Forgiving and having mercy on people who you feel don't deserve it. But how many times have people forgiven you and been patient with you, walked with you through terrible mistakes? I didn't wake up being this person. Man, I talked to somebody about it the other day. I was the same individual who blamed Mike Brown for getting shot and murdered in the streets. And then I saw Mike Brown after Mike Brown after Mike Brown after Mike Brown, just with different names all across the country. I'm grateful that, first of all, some people checked me, but they checked me in love. Oh, man. You see, the other portion of unconditional love is responsibility. Y'all don't want me to go deep into this today, but that's cool. We got to talk about it because the love is missing in my community. It's missing in other communities. Shh. Love, when we talk about the future, what is the future? If the future is missing love, hang it up, folks. We are going to be destroyed. Every faction of our community is going to be destroyed. America will be destroyed if we do not have love. If it's not love first, which is everything, the foundation of everything. It is the foundation of which we build a society. It's a love for people's freedoms, a love for people's choices, a love for people's lifestyles. It does not mean agreement. I don't agree with everything people do, but I love them anyways. I love them anyways, because I know if I keep on loving them, it's the thing that hopefully may spark a flame in them that would help them consider a different lifestyle or different way. And even if they don't change, even if they don't change, you know what? I love them anyways. I love them anyways. Some people will not change. That's okay. That's okay. Can we accept that? Some people will never change. That's okay. We're not here to control other people. You can only control yourself. I think if we spent a lot more time, working on our inside, working on our households, there goes the change in the community. We're talking about it today. Love unconditional. Love without conditions. Agape love. Not storge, not philia, not eros. Agape love. It's missing. How can we get that love back? That's what we're going to talk about in the second half of the segment. How can we get back to love? Let's get back to love.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Bradley County deputies say a warrant to search Mark May's apartment was obtained after neighbors complained he was peeking through their windows and harassing them. The deputy sent to check out the scene said he smelled a strong chemical odor coming from his apartment. The search turned up a large number of chemicals used to manufacture fentanyl, a synthetic opiate multiple times more powerful than heroin. Mays was arrested. A drive-by left an Athens man shot in the hand. Athens police say Leopoldo Gonzalez was driving along when a car pulled up alongside him. The door opened and a man fired at him. The TBI is involved in the case. An unsanctioned counterfeit currency found in Dunlap. The Drug Task Force officers searching the home of Harley Roberts say they found methamphetamine and a counterfeit money operation. Some of that money has been used around town. If you think you were given some of the funny money, call the Dunlap PD. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Let's face it, Old Faithful isn't as faithful as it used to be. Constant repairs are a hassle and can rack up quick and money and time. Landers McClarty Ford can fix that. Right now, you can get a 2016 Ford Focus, 34,000 miles, only $11,491. A 2017 Chevy Spark with only 17,000 miles for less than $12,000. A 2015 Volkswagen Jetta with less than 21,000 miles for $11,991. Yeah, browse their entire inventory of new and new-to-you cars, trucks, and SUVs online at Landers McCarty Ford of FortPayne.com. Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. If you can't find your next perfect ride, they'll go find it for you. Big city selection, small town prices, friendly service, and top dollar for your trade. The savings are waiting and only a short drive away, so what are you waiting for? Get started with your personalized shopping today at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com.
Join Nooga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Cash, 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 and more cash. Get 8.1% return on your money. Rick Davis can turn your cash into real money. Gold and silver bullion. American Eagle Gold. The banks give you a measly 1.9%. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, you'll get 8.1% return on your money. 8.1% return on your money. Wow! Whether you're buying an ounce or 100 ounces, Rick guarantees it in writing. 8.1% Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings, 10 to 11, right here on Nooga Radio.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather. Heating up out there for your afternoon with partly cloudy skies. A spotty shower or storm possible, but not many. Highs upper 80s. Tonight, a little muggier, lows closer to 70. For Thursday and Friday, some sunshine, hot. Only spotty afternoon showers and storms with highs each day around 90. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for more. And I'm Source 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Four.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
It's the reason why we're not socialized to love one another. Because if we love one another, then we'll work together. If we work together, we would turn this system onto its head, and we can't do that. Lord have mercy. That means some people would be out of a job. Oh, man, y'all not ready for me. It's cool. Man, we're not socialized to love one another. How do I know? Look at Hollywood. Italians are mobsters. Native Americans are savages. Okay? White people, all white people are capitalists who are just looking to run over everybody, and that's not even true. And black folks ain't nothing but thugs. That's how we're socialized. Are y'all with me? Are you with me, dear listener? Are you with me? We're socialized that way. And if you bought into that, you wouldn't join me on the West Side with Concerned Citizens for Justice the second and the fourth Tuesday of every month, because then you'll be perplexed at how you see white and black people handing out food to a black community. What? White people? Yes. They have an unconditional love. Man, I'm telling you, Concerned Citizens for Justice has just opened my eyes, because it is, for a lot of communities of color, it is hard for us to trust anyone outside of our community. Part of it is how we're socialized. Part of it is our history and our experience here in America. That's real. That's why we have to have love. You know, for a man to ask me, well, first of all, this was last week's city council meeting, to sit down with me and say, I only have listened to your show 1 or 2 times, but I've been on the radio for at least, 2 months, 2-3 months now. I've been on the radio. You've only caught 1 or 2 shows, but then you somehow surmise what my show is about. Yeah, there was an inner eye roll at that point. You know, it seems your show is all about race. No, that's just a topic that I talk about, because a lot of the problems that we have do extend from race, which is nothing that I created. Not even some of you didn't create that either. It was a categorization to be able to separate us, to keep us from ever working together in these Americas, to overthrow the powers that be, for us to not understand That just like it's poor Black people, it's poor Hispanic people, it's poor white people. And the reality is that if you look at the data right now, 90% of us are all poor. That's like almost everybody. I'm sure probably about 99% of Chattanooga falls in that 90% of poor people. And I don't care what they drive, where they live. I guarantee you, if you look at the banking statements, because it's a whole lot of people fronting. You look at the banking statements and them creditors that call people on the North Shore, don't get it twisted. Please don't get it twisted, folks. The data doesn't lie. There are plenty of people who live on South Side, North Shore, drive nice cars, and they broke. They're broke. The data doesn't lie. The data doesn't lie. We're strapped with student loan debt. If nothing else, the majority of us are strapped with student loan debt that we won't pay off for the next 15 to 20 years. Come on. It's a whole lot of people fronting. Love. Well, what? How do we get back to love? Is it possible? Is it possible for us to get back to love? Have we ever had love? What did it look like? We've had love. Now, see, this is why I'm grateful, that I have the ability to talk with people who do not think like me, who have more information that I may not be privy to. And I love that. I love the fact that people can educate me on things that I don't know. And one of the things that my programmer talked to me about, because a lot of our understanding of things is very limited. And part of that is because we don't talk to anybody else other than people who look like us. Oh, yeah. And part of that is because of love. We don't have a love for anything that is discomforting or that would make us think. Oh, man. Okay. Said a lot right there. My radio programmer was talking with me about Thomas Jefferson. And I know Thomas Jefferson, not only did he have white children, he had Black children. He owned slaves. While he was drafting the Constitution, he had slaves. And I'm sure that a lot of African Americans who even know part of that information would conclude that if Mr. Thomas Jefferson owned slaves, that he was just trash, even though he wrote the Constitution with other good men. Right? And so we were talking about Thomas Jefferson, and man, my programmer hit me with something that was like a brick hitting me over the head. He didn't know it, but man, he just got the wheels turning. And I don't even remember what I said, but he said, Marie, think about this for a second. At the time, even if Thomas Jefferson let his slaves go, where would they have gone? Who would have helped them? They couldn't read and they couldn't write. Who would have hired them? And for me, it was like, dang, I didn't even think about that. Now, that's still not an excuse that I would have on Thomas Jefferson's part of owning other people. But I mean, it's something to consider. Have we maybe even thought about it? Did Thomas Jefferson love? Is it possible that he loved, even while he was drafting the Constitution, which would include them? Understand that even Thomas Jefferson was fighting Southerners, even at this time, Southerners, outside interests of people that didn't even want a Constitution, that didn't even want poor people or certain people to have unalienable rights. Did maybe he keep them there? Because understand, even if, And this is something I never even thought about. Something else that he said, even if he let them go, do you know that he would have been killed and they just would have went somewhere worse anyways? Again, I'm not excusing his actions, but I'm just saying sometimes the conditions put us, even good men, between a rock and a hard place. And, oh man, how many of y'all out there have seen Schindler's List? Go look at it. Yeah. Or read the Diary of Anne Frank. Now, they could have tried to sneak Anne Frank out the country and done all of that. And still, Anne Frank would have been caught. The person who harbored them would have been murdered and everything else. Sometimes history puts us between a rock and a hard place. And people still have to make tough decisions even out of love. I believe that it was love that had Thomas Jefferson start a work that others would finish. That would later include, and then that time just presents a beautiful opportunity for us to do something different. And for the oppressed to rise out of their oppressed state with the help of even people that we don't like or agree with. That's the power of love. Lincoln had love so much for his Union that he freed the slaves. Thank God that he loved the Union so much. Because he said if I could have won for the Union without freeing slaves, I would have done it. But he recognized that he couldn't do it without freeing the slaves. Come on. I thank God sometimes for the love that people have. That people have even in difficult situations. I don't agree with everybody's actions, their lifestyles and what they do, but I don't have any desire to control them. And if you're not operating in love, you're looking to control people. That's real. If you're not let me say that again in case you missed that. If you're not operating in love, you're looking to control people. And that's not your job. That's not what you're here for. That's not what you're here for. You're here to love until you can love no more. And then that's it. And every day, we should have an attitude, a desire to love people. What will you do when you love people? Well, the first thing you will do is you will stop expecting them to do what you want them to do. We're just going to take a pause on that. If you love people, you will first stop wanting them to do what you want them to do. Are y'all ready for that? And you will just love them anyways. You'll assist them in what they want to do, unless it's a criminal act or something that's going to harm somebody else. What's so terrible about loving someone who doesn't look like you? What's terrible about that? You have a lot that you can learn. I've learned a lot of things from people who don't look like me. Y'all not ready. It's cool. What else can we do to bring back love? Well, number 2 is realizing that even if people don't change, they still need love to operate. And as a matter of fact, love is like, so I just put on some lip balm because I don't like having, and I don't want to show, well, maybe I don't. It's a particular brand that I like because it's very, very soft on my lips. I don't like dry, chapped lips. One of the things that I recognize is that love is like a salve. It smooths and it softens people. Case in point, a lot of people don't care for Yusef Hakeem, who won the Democratic nomination for House 28. A lot of people don't care for him. And one of the things that a a person talked about was she was getting another radio personality was getting some flack about doing a prayer breakfast with Mr. Hakeem. And one of the things that I told her, and she, because I get it. You know, people were saying she shouldn't do this because she'll look bad. Again, trying to control somebody else. She shouldn't do this because it'll look bad for her. What will people think? What will people say? And I said, regardless of whether I like the person who should represent me, I still need to love them because I need for them when the time comes. If I need something from them, you see, if there's no avenue of love, then it becomes difficult for me to get results out of that person. And so since he doesn't have the job yet, if we start with love, then it makes it easy. If he does get the job, do y'all see where I'm going with this? If he does get the job, if we've loved him before he got in and said, well, you know, Mr. Hakeem, we can be honest and say that we didn't really agree with what you did on city council. But there's a but. We love you and we want to support you. And so we hope that our love will be a bridge that despite what happened in the past, we can move forward. I'm going to let y'all digest that for a second. Despite what has already happened, the terrible mistakes you made, the legislative measures that you did that didn't work, can we agree to disagree that even though that didn't work and even though we may feel some type of way, you're still representing the people. If you get the job, you'll still represent the community. And I still need to be able to talk to you and have you take my call because you remembered. Well, that's the person, even though they kept it real with me, they still supported me. They forgave me. And they gave me another opportunity. Oh, man. Love is a second chance. That's how you can tell where people are. The person that got up last week at city council and asked city council to deny a halfway house to be expanded to service more poor and impoverished people is lacking love. And if she said she represented the Martin Luther King community, she represented a community that's lacking love. What are we supposed to do with all of these people? Because guess what? If you don't love them, that is what will make them break in your house. Oh, y'all don't want me to get real. If you don't love them, if you won't buy them and you won't offer them any change, you won't look them in the eye. You won't extend your hand to help them. You won't give them a couple of dollars. You won't go in your house and give them a cool drink of water. If you're lacking love, that's what will make them rob you. Oh, man. Because it's hard. It's really, really hard for somebody to take advantage of you if they love you. They really, really love you. If it's an unconditional love. Maybe that's why so many people, and even our young people, are turning to drugs because nobody loves them. Who tells them that they love them? We criticize them from problems that people older than me created. Yeah, you criticize the millennials and their attitude, but why would we have an attitude if we didn't come into a jacked up world? Oh, so you criticize us for conditions we didn't create. Talk about our attitude because you don't have time for us when all we want is relationship and love. How many of our children would turn away from drugs if they had some love that wasn't conditional? If the city of Chattanooga and the mayor loved them and did more than try to take photo ops with them, but would maybe take off the suit for a day and show up in some jeans and a t-shirt and some Nikes. Had to throw that one in there. And some Nikes and play some basketball with them. No cameras. He doesn't let the news know. His entourage ain't coming. He just decides to come to the center one day and play basketball, even if he's terrible at it. No press conference. Come on. Where would we be if he just showed up? If he just showed up to the schools that are failing and said, yes, I said in my statement during the State of the City address that this was a city of creators. And I acknowledged that I've helped create a 2 Chattanooga situation. And I'm going to every opportunity poverty zone school. No press, nothing. Just drop in. And we got a check from the city of Chattanooga because I want you guys to have 3D printers. Or even if he just did something simple and just showed up with donuts. Because, it don't really take much for children. They just want to see you. Man, I know, imagine if Burgers with Burke was the city of Chattanooga actually paying for the burgers. And then instead of having it in the nice places that most people can't afford, he goes and has burgers in all of the places where a lot of city officials, even that represent their own district, are too afraid to go to. Oh. Love. Unconditional love. We can stop school shootings if parents would love their children enough, spend time with them, and to even butt into their lives and see what they're doing. Oh, Lord. Unconditional love, good people. Unconditional love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's just something that we don't have enough of. Let's get back to love. Stop trying to control people. Accept them even if they don't change. And do it even when nobody is looking. Y'all know what it is. Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. And I gotta hit you one time in the love center of your body, which is your heart. If no one has taken the time to tell you that they love you today, Marie, Rachel, Hogue, Mott, that's my whole government name, loves you. And guess what? It's absolutely nothing that you can do to stop me from loving you. Y'all have a beautiful day in the city of Chattanooga. Tune in tomorrow on the Marie Mott Show. Get back to love.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Bradley County deputies say a warrant to search Mark May's apartment was obtained after neighbors complained he was peeking through their windows and harassing them. The deputy sent to check out the scene said he smelled a strong chemical odor coming from his apartment. The search turned up a large number of chemicals used to manufacture fentanyl, a synthetic opiate multiple times more powerful than heroin. Mays was arrested. A drive-by left an Athens man shot in the hand. Athens police say Leopoldo Gonzalez was driving along when a car pulled up alongside him. The door opened and a man fired at him. The TBI is involved in the case. In